I am joined today with Kylie Gutierrez.
Hello. Hi, Ben Duffy.
So just a little background. We met off Instagram and just started vibing on things like spirituality, the music scene, which you were deep into.
Yes.
And eventually you just came out and you were visiting your family for Thanksgiving and we just made it happen. And now we've been vibing and now we're doing the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Of course, anytime.
Yeah.
So, how would you introduce yourself?
So
you're into many things.
Yes, I am. I am a lover of many things. I'm a pretty ambitious, passionate woman. My name is Kylie Gutierrez. I am 24 years old. I'm from Anaheim Hills, California. And I am a nursing student. I'm a server and a bartender. I work in the music industry. I've worked in the music industry now for since 2022. I am from California, but I live in Arizona now. I have a lot of family in Colorado, Denver, so I'm a big lover of nature.
What do you do in the music scene?
In the music industry, I do artist relations and hospitality. That is my main role. So I'm just in charge of, taking care of the artists, running backstage, making sure everything's going smooth in the green rooms. I pick artists up from the airport, coordinate schedules, make sure they are where they need to be on time, get the rider list and all that shit. It's pretty cool.
So you professionally vibe with dope artists?
Yes. It's honestly a really dope profession. It's brought me a lot of connections and I'm just such a people pleaser at heart. Or I just love people, I love hospitality, anything hospitality. I think that my purpose in this lifetime is to heal and connect human beings, whether that be through music, medicine,
sexuality.
Yeah, sexuality,
we'll
anything.
About.
Yes, we'll definitely get into that. I think there's a range of things that I just want to spread my love and my light to this world.
And I wanna talk about how you got into the music industry, but first I want to just reflect that something I see in you that I think is really potent and that I don't actually see in everybody is that desire to actually be of service. And that people-pleasing component to life. And I think there's something really deep in that and something actually really medicinal.
Thank you.
Whether we know it or not, I think some people are called to that path of service because it's medicine to the being.
Yes.
Being able to let go of just me for the sake of someone else, something bigger.
Right. I feel that it's so beautiful to be able to allow somebody else to let go and feel safe in your energy. I just love making people feel safe, seen, heard, valued. I want to be able to give people unforgettable experiences in this lifetime. Yeah. So I think that is one of my purposes in life. I feel like I was put on this earth for a reason to spread my light and to just bring others, healing energy.
Yes.
So.
And it's interesting because I think everybody actually is here for, maybe a similar purpose to be able to make this shared experience we have going on better for everyone. And I think that there's something really innate just in consciousness, that kind of drive for altruism. To be of service, to make things better. And for me, it's like when you're in a social relationship, any sort of connection, your experience, my experience, is dependent on how the other person is feeling. If they're thrown off, if I'm stepping on their toes or saying out of pocket shit, then they're not having a good time. And all of a sudden, I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
If I'm in a more expansive heart space, really, when we contract and we just think it's all about me, then fuck them. If they're not having a good time, that sucks to suck.
Yeah.
And so I think there's something really beautiful, again, in being of service and finding your way to do that.
Thank you.
And the metaphor that always comes to mind is trees, flowers, they bear fruit. I mean, flowers obviously bear flowers, but they're all giving something back to the world. Pollination, nectar, beautiful scents. The birds have the songs. They spread the seeds. The trees give the fruit. Everything is trying to give back to the world.
Yes, I love taking care of my people, and I think that life and connection is also transactional. Receiving, giving energy, and I think that's so beautiful. And we are fucking animals, and we are one with nature. And just like you said, bearing fruit, so do we. So
and I think it's almost like something in the being feels off until we find that way to bear our fruit.
Yes.
And everyone's unique, and so many people I think try to follow this set path, which is become a doctor, become a lawyer, make X amount of money, do this, that. And it's up for us, only us, to decide what is the fruit that I'm here to give.
Yeah. And sometimes that can be, you can have multiple purposes in life,
Sure.
There's not just one path that you have to follow. There can be many. And I think that's a thing I want to talk about too, a journey that I'm on. I don't just want to pursue one path or passion in this life. I want to pursue multiple.
Yeah. And that brings me to your path. And something is interesting with, I haven't actually heard this story yet, but you said Liquid Stranger and how you got in the music industry.
Okay, yes. So my journey in the music industry is pretty wild. So I started going to shows. My first event was when I was 15. It was Phoenix Lights 2017 in Arizona. But music just runs in my blood. My dad is in the burner community, so he grew up going to Burning Man, and Desert Hearts is his favorite festival. Shout out Desert Hearts. Yeah, that my favorite collective. I work with them now, and I'm so blessed. But yeah, my dad, I just always grew up listening to a lot of house techno music. He was always telling me his stories about his community and just like how much music had changed him as a person and brought so much love and light into his life. And when I was 15 years old, he gifted me my first Desert Hearts pendant and told me, you need to go. And so when I was...
Desert Hearts, is that like, it's like Burning Man type
Desert
shit?
Hearts is like I would say, well, I don't want to compare them to anything else because they're just such a incomparable, like it's they're their own entity, but I would say they're like a mini Burning Man. Like that's how their festival makes me feel, but I have yet to go to the Burn. I will be going this upcoming year for my first time.
Same.
Yeah. But yeah, Desert Hearts, it was my dad's favorite festival, and it's so sentimental and special to me. They just are so about love, community, culture, creation, everything that I stand for. They're a house and techno based collective. So that was my dad's favorite festival, and he just always told me stories about it growing up. So when I was 15, I got a fake ID and I just started going to shows and festivals with my friends, started going to raves. And then, you know, I was kind of like, I think we all started out as attendees, people who just have a strong passion and a love for music. That was me. And then I just kind of started like popping on Instagram. I've always been really big with fashion. Like I'm free to express myself. I don't really give a fuck. I wear what I want, and I don't give a fuck what people say about me. Like I let people perceive me however they want, and I just love expressing myself. I always say there's so many sides of Kylie. Like there's not just one side of Kylie. There's so many sides of Kylie.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, they have to get to know. So I became like a fashion influencer, you'd say. I started being a brand ambassador for a lot of different brands. And I'm just like a natural born supporter. I love supporting people and their projects and their art and their vision in whatever way I can. So I started doing that, and then I discovered, I was like, you know what, I actually want to make a career in this industry. Like it's super...
in fashion.
Yeah, no, in music. Like I started being a brand ambassador and getting like clothes from companies, and then I would like promote their products at festivals because, my parents also work for the airlines. That has been a huge part of me and my story in my life. I'm so blessed. Shout out my mom and my stepdad. They're the hardest workers I know. And they've busted their ass for so many years for me, and they've given me the best life. I've had the ability to travel the world growing up, and I think a lot of that contributes to my success in the industry because I was able to, you know, just hop on a plane whenever I wanted. And if there was an artist I wanted to see or somebody that I wanted to go support, I could just go hop on a fucking plane and just go support them, you know? And like, I think that's what really got me to where I was today. A lot of people ask me, like, how did you get to where you are today? And it's just about showing up unconditionally with no expectations, supporting. Yeah, you just have to like put yourself out there. But Liquid Stranger, as we're coming back to it, has always been one of my favorite.
Who is Liquid Stranger?
Liquid Stranger, Martin, the man Martin, the owner of Wakan. You guys know Wakan. If you are in Denver, it's the bass capital. They do a lot of shows.
Music.
Yeah, do a lot of shows at Red Rocks. Liquid Stranger Martin, he's a good friend of mine, and
he's an interesting guy.
He's Swedish.
Okay, he's Swedish.
He's Swedish, and I just love his voice. I could listen to him talk all day. He kind of like reminds me of like if you were Swedish, an older version of you.
Yo, Liquid Stranger. Whenever I'm at a Liquid Stranger set, he says some of the most crazy shit.
No, yeah,
on the mic,
right?
He's like just randomly throwing crazy bass music, and he's like, Christina Aguilera was trying to be here, but she couldn't make it anyways. And he just throws the drop, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's the best. But he's just, you know, created this huge collective, and it's crazy. Me and him met. I can't remember what year it was. I think it was 2019 or 2020. We met on a plane because he was living in Sedona at the time. I live in Arizona, and he was living in Arizona, and I was boarding my flight. and he was sitting next to me, and I traded this like candy with him because at the time I was just a little fan. I was like so starstruck. And I traded him this little like astronaut candy, and I told him how much I loved him. And then he was just telling me like how much he loves and values Arizona, and like how, you know, a lot of people like tend to like underestimate Arizona and like,
For sure.
you know, like think it's like not a beautiful place, but you just have to go like discover like the beauty of it. Like if you go up to Sedona and Flagstaff, it's so fucking beautiful. And so he resides there, or he did reside there, and he had a studio there. So I met him on a plane. That was the first time that we interacted. And then like a year later, I was at another festival, and I was staying at a hotel, and I didn't know that it was the Artist Hotel. And I guess he was staying there too. And I was sleeping, and in my sleep, I was having a dream, and I heard his voice, and, you know, his Swedish like accent. I was like, wait, do I hear Martin? Like he's talking to me in my fucking dreams. And then I wake up, and I'm like, wait, no, he's actually fucking talking right now. Like, where is he? What? And I just opened my hotel room door, and he's just standing like right outside the door in the fucking hallway on the phone. And he's like with a coffee in hand. And I was like, Martin? What? Yeah, that's like tricky. I was dreaming about him, but he was just happened to be right outside the door. So when I opened the door, I was like, Martin, it's me, Kylie. I don't know if you remember me. Like, we met on the plane. He's like, oh, yeah. I'm sure he didn't remember me, and he was just lying to make me feel better. But we took a picture, and, like, I have this little album on my phone with, like, all of our pictures because it's, like, a cute little timeline. But, yeah, I, like, saw him in the hallway, and ever since then, we had this inside joke that we're neighbors because, you know, we met on a plane, and then, yeah, he ended up, I saw him in the hotel because he was staying in the hotel room next to me. So that's why he was outside my door. Yeah. So just like the universe, you know, like coincidentally put him in my path. And then I didn't see him for a little bit after that, but we always would keep up on Instagram. And, you know, I just love everything that he does, and I respect him so much, like as an artist and as a creator. And he's done a lot for this community. So I've just always supported him naturally. And then like the moment for me that like changed my whole fucking life was when I was at Phoenix Lights 2022. And it's crazy because my first ever festival was Phoenix Lights 2017. And then we go fast forward, Phoenix Lights 2022 or 2021, I can't remember. I was at this festival, and I was just like in attendance. I was on the guest list, supporting. I was with my friend Jane Kim with Champagne Drip, and I was in my, you know, like rave girl outfit, doing my like fashion brand ambassador thing, getting like content for this company that sent me clothes. And I was backstage, and I ran into Martin, and I was like, oh my God, how are you? Like, I haven't seen you in so long. And we were just catching up, and I told him, I was like, you know, like it's been a while like since I've seen you, but I've like dived so deep into the scene, and like this community is everything to me, and I think I really want to like make a career out of it. Like how, like I need advice, I need your like wisdom, what should I do? And he was like, you know what, I want to introduce you to someone. I want to introduce you to Hallie Casper right here. And he introduced me to this beautiful lady, Hallie Casper, my best friend now. And that whole moment in time just changed the whole trajectory of my life. Like, he introduced me to this one person, and that simple connection brought me so much and opened so many doors for me. It literally brought me my whole new group of best friends. It brought me to I Don't Give a Funk. It showed me this new worlds of music that I never...
What is I Don't Give a Funk?
I Don't Give a Funk. I Don't Give a Funk is a music event production company based in Arizona. It's the company that I now work for. It's owned by my two best friends, Stephanie and Roman. She started it, I think it's been over 10 years now. She started it when she was like 19 or 20. Yes, so we throw shows in Arizona. Like a lot of the people that you see playing Red Rocks, we book those artists as well. People that play major festivals, we book them, and we partner with a company called Walter Productions. Walter Productions is a Burning Man camp. So they're a Burning Man based camp, but they own two really dope ass venues in Arizona. They own Walter Studios and Walter Warehouse, and they keep all of their art cars there. So our shows are a lot different than your regular shows. It's not just like it's not just like a black fucking room. And like that's like one thing that we preach is like we're so big on art, community, culture, creation. We bring a lot of locals out. We bring a lot of like artists out. We just want people to like be able to express their vision, and like we want to put people on as well. I feel like we're really big on diving deep into music and searching for things that people have never heard before, and like we want to help bring them to the top. So yeah, that's the company that I work for. I Don't Give a Funk. And Stephanie is more like the creative, beautiful visionary brain behind it, and Roman does all the, the bookings, the finances. He's like the businessman behind it. So together they're a power team, and they're my best friends, and they've given me so much, and I'm so grateful for them.
And then you're just the connector. You're the connector and the chiller.
Yes, and we have our friend group. We call it the Funk Fam. We have like a friend group. It's like 40, 50 of us, and we're just like, our community in Arizona is so crazy. Like, we're so interpersonal and so close, and it's honestly I'm an only child, so I didn't grow up with siblings, and this is like my chosen family, you know, and we just lean on each other so hard, and we talk every day, and we all have this shared love of music, and just like having this community and we give something, like show up for each other all the time and lean on each other. And this
brings me to kind of what I want to talk about with festival culture, the music scene, and just the overarching theme of community as a whole. So that's sort of what I found through festivals organically, is community. And I think there's something in the festival scene or the music scene about, let's just say, dance and opening to your own creative expression of something really simple. Like when the bass goes like that, I move my body like this. Like, you're sort of creating and discovering who I am. You know what I mean? And to be able to let that out, to be seen in your fullest expression, and just to be held. And to have other people come up and be like, yo, I like your outfit, or like, yo, I dig your dance moves, bro.
Yes.
What's up? You want to hit this joint? And like, that's that organic community where you can fly solo to these shows, to these festivals, and leave with dozens of new friends.
I think that's so empowering when you can just do your own thing. Like, one of my biggest mottos in life was, you got to dance like nobody's watching, babe. Like, go out there and you will attract your fucking tribe. Like, you just got to be yourself and shine your fucking light, and go out there and like do you and not give a fuck. Like, do it alone.
And that's medicine.
Yeah.
Because I think we live in a culture where everyone's like, what am I supposed to do right now? Like, in little ways and in big ways.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What is everyone else doing? Do I do that? Do I hands in the pockets, hands in the front? What do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, do I get a beer? And I think it's kind of,
maybe those people are a little lost.
Well, I think it's a part of the process, because I don't think a lot of people have that sort of direction that is specifically back to ourselves. Which is like, we're all looking for, where's the path? What's the right thing to do? And we actually look in the wrong direction, which is externally. Let's just figure out, how do you want to act? How do you want to speak? Who do you want to talk to? How do you want to move your body? Keep coming back to yourself.
Exactly.
And learn that you can, let's put it like this. We also live in a world with a lot of wounding. So when people have been authentically expressing themselves, maybe when they're really young, psychotherapeutically speaking, that's when a lot of the deep wounds can happen, where you were like playing and screaming and your mom told you to be quiet and yelled at you, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I guess I can't do that anymore. Or little things like that start to suppress our ability to fully express ourselves.
Yes.
And then we grow up, and for me it was like something felt off. And then I found like the music scene and the festival culture, and mixing dance with like a ton of people around with these, for me, like severely altered states on psychedelics, which are great and I think really medicinal, because like we talked about, all of those masks that we tend to wear, they get taken off with certain substances.
Yeah. I love how you bring this up, because it makes me like think back to like, I can never remember a time where I wasn't like living like so boldly and like living in my authenticity, because that's like one of my biggest things. Like, I'm just so all about expressing yourself, living true to you, living in your most authentic version of yourself. And because, the more authentic you live to yourself, the less you're going to hurt yourself and others. And I think back to myself, I'm like, did the music community like make me like this, or like was it, because I don't think I was ever like, I'm so lucky to be blessed, like I wasn't ever born into a family that like made me feel like I had to suppress myself or not be able to express who I am. Like, even if they didn't agree with my choices or agree like with, because I can be like provocative sometimes, and like, I don't know, I'm just still like, they still supported me in expressing myself whatever fucking way I wanted to. So I think that's like, so important to be around like a good community. Totally. But in some people who aren't in the music scene, like the music culture and the community has saved people's lives, like from finding that and seeing that source of like expression and community. And I just think it's so beautiful.
I agree. And I think we live in a really lonely world in a lot of ways. We live in a world that I don't know if there's like an active attempt to keep people isolated, keep people in fear, keep people in hate, and pointing the fingers at each other to actually feed divisiveness. I would say, based on I don't know, certain possible psyops, it's totally possible. But at the same time, we live in a world where so many people are so isolated and so alone. And the music scene, again, for me, it was like being able to express yourself as you are. I mean, for me, when I'm on like, a few hits of acid and 5 grams of mushrooms, I can't hold anything back. You can't.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Can we talk psychedelics?
Please. But so what the medicinal element of that is not just like, the chemical component of the psychedelics. It's the fact that I am now expressing myself, no masks. I don't have the ability to wear a mask because too much, the altered states are too, strong. And when I can really express myself and recognize that people actually dig that, that's like you start to unconsciously, and this is like so subconscious mind.
Yeah, it just
give yourself permission.
So subconscious.
To be you. And that's the thing. So I grew up in a family that wasn't like really repressive or oppressive. It was just like the culture. I grew up in a suburb in upstate New York, and it was just like, I would say just the culture is coming from like, let's just say like the general, United States puritanical values that suppress, among other things, sexuality. And I think that just the culture I was swimming in was just somewhat oppressive. And then I come to something like, music festivals, Burning Man, like these severely altered states. And I say severely because they are radically different than your normal frame of mind.
Yeah.
And again, it's like
it expands your mind though.
Exactly.
It really opens you up to a whole new fucking world.
And it's interesting because all of those boundaries that I put on myself that I didn't know I was putting on myself, that were sort of a consequence of the culture, you're not even aware of them until you start to break them down. And then you're like, wait, I was limiting myself this whole time and I didn't even know it.
Yep, and literally. So confining yourself and keeping yourself in that box. And I always say like, for closed-minded people, like, open your mind, like, please, like, go to a festival, like, do some psychedelics, like,
take a chance.
Yeah, like, take a chance. Taking risk in life is like so beautiful, like, which that was something I told you, like, being a yes woman, like, that's why I love being a yes woman, like, saying yes. I just say yes so much. Even sometimes I think I need to start saying no more, but
it's a skill.
Saying yes has just gotten me, like, every time I say yes, I have a new experience. I meet a new amazing person. I have a dope ass fucking conversation. I learn something insightful. So I think saying yes through life, especially when you're in your 20s, like I'm in my 20s.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
And I think there's 100% like such a
I will slow down
in that. That's what I'm saying. So we were talking about this before, and I was like, for me, I actually had to build the skill of saying no. Because for me, it's always that FOMO. What if I met like such dope people, business connections? What if it was like such a banger show or whatever? Well, there's always something. And the thing is, there's no end. And that's what I started to realize. And then when I was on my big spiritual 2-year journey, meditating a lot, working on farms, and just learning, actually, wait, that stuff can't necessarily get me what I'm looking for. Sometimes what I want is peace of mind, and saying yes is moving in the wrong direction.
I also think you can have both though. Like, I love how we can like talk about this because you're older than me, and so like you say you've like been in the position that I am, and I'm kind of trying to go to where you are. Like, I'm trying to get to a point where I slow down and start saying no more, but I'm also like at this point in my life where it's just like we're all gas, no brakes, baby. And like, it's okay because like that time will come. I'm just having so many opportunities booming for me right now. But I think life is all about balance, like, and duality was something I wanted to talk about, like having the balance and like having like, you can always have both, and like the ebbs and flows of life, like going back and forth and just going through those like waves, like you can go back and forth between both. I feel I like flip it like a switch sometimes.
And
like,
so what dualities are we specifically referring to right now?
Oh my gosh, there's so many meanings of duality.
I know.
For me,
I was wondering if you wanted to talk about your past, and I can also relate to this of having like some mental health issues earlier in life.
Okay, what are your mental health issues?
So right now I would say I don't really struggle with them. I feel blessed enough to actually have found practices, certain philosophies that actually have opened my mind in a way where I'm like, I'll never be depressed again, and I'm convinced of that because I understand now just the mechanisms that cause it, not just psychotherapeutically, but just understanding the mind from the inside out, from the Buddhist lens. How am I constructing my suffering? How am I constructing this torment that feels so real? And so I was blessed enough to find certain teachers, again, to travel in India beyond lockdown in COVID at an ashram, to spend 8 months of my life as Zen
Yeah, like
centers.
you went on your healing journey.
It was,
And
I had no choice.
my life is
Like,
so crazy right now. I can't wait to like can step into that era because it's definitely like on my list. I want to do like these retreats. I really want to like start going to therapy. Like there are these things that I have like plans for.
It'll happen when you slow down.
Yes.
Because then for me, when I
It's
slowed
the
down,
slowing down for
I
me.
saw the ways that my mind was completely fucked. And I was like, wait, I gotta do something about this and figure it out. And the thing is, like, I did therapy for a while and it didn't cut it for me. I was like, it's not going as deep as I needed to. And that's where Buddhism came in. And now I'm trying to teach this. I am teaching this. What it is not like coaching. It's like existential liberation, because that's quite literally what it is. And it sounds lofty, and that's because it is profound and dramatic. And so my mental health issues, though, were depression and anxiety. And I always had like a baseline of anxiety in my life the whole time growing up. And like, again, it's from my culture, like it ran in my family. So I just thought it was normal. And it, you know, in a sense it is.
It is.
And,
it is, but then it gets to a point where it's like so debilitating. You're like, okay, this is not normal.
Well, it's not, I can't function with
That's
it.
how I feel.
And that's the thing. So I like acclimated to this baseline of anxiety, and then it just started to get worse, where then I like couldn't like do what I wanted to do or be social, or I would just like get locked up in this anxiety.
Yes, and I get in those moments sometimes, and I'm such a big advocate for mental health, and I want anybody watching this podcast to know that like your mental illnesses like do not define you. Like they're not like a part of you. Like you can always like go and get help and change them. And I grew up struggling like with a lot of anxiety. Like anxiety runs in my family. I feel like I went through waves of depression throughout my life. I was on this like medication journey, but I don't even know if like medication is like the right path for me. Like anyone who takes medication, like props to you, and like if that's right for you, that's good. But
if it works, it works.
if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Sometimes therapy works, sometimes it doesn't. Like there's just, you know, you got to go through like the trials and errors. But I recently got diagnosed with bipolar, so that was just like, I don't know, it was almost like a weight lifted off my shoulders to find out, because I'd been going through like this journey my whole life of like, why do I feel this way? Like, why do I feel so different? I was going through like depressive states, but then I started getting manic. Like
mania is kind of sick.
Yeah, honestly, it can be kind of sick, and that's why like this sounds crazy, but that's kind of why I don't like want to medicate, because like when I do medicate, it suppresses my creativity. Like I don't know, like my manic personality is a part of who I am. Like I can't help it. Like
thank you for saying that. So for me, I struggle with, I want to say I was never diagnosed officially, but being a therapist now, I'd say some flavor of bipolar disorder as well.
Yeah.
Where I would have these huge openings when I first moved to Colorado, eat shit tons of psychedelics, be in the mountains, go to festivals.
Yes.
And I was so externally like connected with everyone. People liked me. I was just flowing, creative, connected. And then the winter would hit, and I would hit this like very internal place, and I would see those parts of me that I had not yet been able to love and transform. So these parts of me that I still didn't like, still the parts of me that I hated, the weakness, the vulnerability, the I'm not enough, the fear about the future, like will I have enough, all of these things that needed love from me. At that point in my life, I didn't know how to hold them. I didn't know how to love them. So it turned into this crazy depression. So these highs and these lows, and I didn't know, like I was like, what's wrong with me? And it was basically, I was looking for some way out other than coming back to myself. And that's what being in India, being on lockdown at this ashram showed me, is like, stop looking, come back to yourself. Over and over. What needs to be held? What needs to be seen and like parented.
It's crazy, because I think I used to be way more depressed when I used to suppress the manic sides of me. Like when I would try to like hold that in, you know, like when you try to like hold in your fucking like wildness and your craziness and your chaos, like no, that shit needs to be released. Like especially
as a woman.
As a woman. And like when like I have such feminine like sexual energy, and I don't know, I'm just so out there and like me and like free, and I don't give a fuck what people think. Like I just want to be me and express myself in any way that I want. And I think it's so beautiful when you can tap into your sexual feminine energy. And also like one thing about me is I also can tap into my masculine energy too, though. Like the duality. Yeah. Like one thing people say about me is if I was a symbol, it would be the yin and yang, because I'm just so like, I have both.
It's a good symbol.
Yeah.
Balance is key.
My favorite symbol.
I want to bookmark that sexual expression piece, because I think that's huge. And I want to go back to that expression of mania, and how in the certain psychological paradigm that we're in today, we say bipolar disorder is objectively bad. It's objectively wrong. When in certain cultures, manic trance-like states have actually been revered. And if we don't just apply the scientific materialistic lens that says, oh, this is a psychological issue, we could say, what about the view that actually the angels are breathing life into you. Spirit itself is giving you a gift with this mania. And does that mean you have to come down? Yes. But at the same time, it's a gift to be able to tap into that level of creativity, excitement, expression. And I think, again, we have this view that is the only way to perceive this experience is that it's bad, wrong, and needs to be medicated and fixed. And for me, like when I was in grad school, I said this to my professors and I thought I was crazy. Because I was like, honestly, I kind of dig it. Like, I'm down to take that ride sometimes. I'm down to take that ride into the high of mania. And like the productivity, the expression, the connections, it's so dope.
I've had people who tell me, they're like, oh, we always knew you were bipolar. Like, we fucking love you're crazy. Like, what do you mean? This is like this is what we love about you. And I'm like, oh my God, like, thank you for making me feel like normal.
Right, exactly. So let's normalize that. And let's say that there's a gift in there.
I think it should be normalized because it's actually so beautiful. Like, because we are able to tap into a higher power. I'm such an empath. And I'm able to feel things so deeply. And I think it's such a blessing to be able to feel so fucking deeply.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yes, it's a blessing and a curse, but more of a blessing.
I agree with
that
you
I've come
on
to
that.
find out. So yeah, I'm not ashamed of it, and I really like. That's why like I don't like. I've gone on this medication journey, but I actually feel better when I'm able to just embrace it and unleash it, and it just makes me so.
And that's the thing. So I don't want to say that bipolar is only a blessing. Like, obviously it sucks, and I think it depends on what somebody wants.
It's just the highs and lows of like, you know, like it's just a never ending. Feels like you're on a roller coaster on this wave, and like it doesn't stop,
which can be destabilizing and not be what people want.
Yeah, I think that is what I like wanted to talk to you about, like meditation. Like meditation can be a practice that can help with that thing, you know.
And that's where I was able to find really a lot of relief from the highs and the lows. And so at this point in my life, I'm much more comfortable with experiencing those highs and lows. I have a great relationship with both of them. Back in the day, I was just like more clinging to the high. I hope this stays around forever. How high can we get? And this mania, it just comes spontaneously. And same with the depression. It's so interesting. At least it seems spontaneously. Actually, if we pay close attention, there are subtle sort of variables contributing to the onset of the mania and the depression. But that's where meditation comes in, because I did all the psychedelics, I did the yoga, I did all that stuff, and it helps. Let's be honest, it helps. But there's medicine that you can only access, and really profound medicine that you can only access through stillness. And there's a quote that I love, which is, the majority of man's problems arise because they can't sit quietly in a room with themselves.
Yeah, sitting with yourself and sitting with your emotions and letting your thoughts process.
And your stories. Because like a lot of our experience, I would say all of our experience is rooted in very obvious and some very subtle conceptual narratives. Like, who am I? Is this whole life thing going well? Do people like me? These are stories. Just because even if people don't like you, that doesn't mean you're low value. That doesn't mean something's wrong with you. I mean, like, you can build a boundary and say, fuck these people that don't like me. Like, it's up to you.
It's just our subconscious, literally.
And that's the thing. We make the subconscious conscious, and we can start to actually rework the narratives through. First, step one is going to be identify what narratives are operating. And that takes time. That's the first step of meditation, is being clear on what's actually even going on in my mind right now. And people think that when they start to meditate and things get worse, again, the mind is more active, more scattered, they think it's going badly. And a lot of people stop there. But that's when you need to keep going, because that's step one, is recognizing, first becoming aware, oh, my mind is fucked right now. It's all over the place. And then you can start to really categorize and organize the contents of your mind, which is like, okay, these are the things stressing me out. This is my fear about the future. These are the things I really value in life. These are the things I'm kind of concerned about. And it's like you have this desk. Your mind is the desk. It's like a cubicle. And there's just shit everywhere. There's coffee spilled, there's papers, there's a stapler upside down. And you're like, well, I don't know what the fuck's even going on here. And meditation, you just start to organize things. And you can start to like sharpen the blade of your mind, where you can see things clearly and start to accept yourself.
I love that explanation of it. That's a beautiful way to put it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's what a lot of people that I see in the music scene, in the psychedelic scene, in the new age scene even, that don't do that, are missing out. And I say this to every human being, and I hate to be the person who kind of like advertises meditation, but there is nothing that can improve the quality of your experience. Nothing even comes close at really amplifying the quality of your experience. It doesn't mean just highs. It doesn't just mean more dope vacations, more amazing people to hang out with, more connection. It means just when I'm sitting by myself, what's the quality of my experience?
Yeah.
and amplifying that just by
yeah,
saying yes.
you have some things to teach me, yeah, because I really want to like dive deep into like my meditation journey, because like I have meditated before, and I don't do it regularly though, and like I'm so inspired by you, like watching you this morning, like just meditate, sit, and you're just zen. I was
I
like,
have to.
my ADHD will like just my brain, like but it's like a skill that you have to master. So
and the thing is, I have heavy ADHD as well. Like I used to be medicated for it heavy, and like it made meditation really hard at first.
Wow, that's so inspiring. You say you have ADHD, and now look at you, you're a master.
Yeah, a master. Well, I would say I've learned quite a bit from it, and I would say it's uncomfortable by default. Like meditation is like, if it was easy and pleasant to sit with yourself, at least at first, you would be doing it. Yeah. And that's the thing. For me, it was,
you want to sit with yourself and be uncomfortable, because then it just makes it more comfortable. Being uncomfortable.
Exactly. You're coming to terms with the discomfort, with the stories and narratives that are making it so difficult. Like, I have something to do right now. What if I just want to meet these people? I have to get this work done. It's like, actually, no, sit and come to the place where I don't need to do any of this shit, and let it go, let it go, let it go. And then the way I word it, it sort of becomes purified, because I've seen all this shit that's stressing me out. And actually the stress is built not just off the thing out there, but my relationship to it. So when I can shift my relationship, say, oh, this is okay. Hey, if I lose my job, it's not the end of the world. Hey, if this girl leaves me or she doesn't like me, that's okay. And all of a sudden, like, the anxiety doesn't have a place to sink its hooks in you. Yeah. Because I've just accepted it all. And so... yeah, I think with meditation, again, it's the best way to improve the quality of your experience.
Yeah, I think it also teaches you about, being able to let go of your emotions and not absorb them.
And that's such an interesting statement. I want to speak on letting go, because that's a big part of Buddhism. It's a big part of meditation. Everyone's like, oh, just let that shit go. And what's so interesting is there's a direct relationship between love and the ability to let go. And when I say love, I mean that love that we have for ourselves, or being able to tap into that universal love that is accessible to everybody. Yeah. So there's a Rumi quote. I actually just made a video on this today, but it was, your job is not to seek for love, but merely to remove all the obstacles that are in its way. So, and this is, I think, what Christ tapped into, is love is the fabric of existence.
Yeah, like we were saying, love is infinite.
It is. Love is infinite. And as Mars would say, shout out Mars.
Shout out Mars.
But love is infinite, and it's the fabric of existence. And this is, I think, what Christ recognized as well, is when I'm not building the boundary to that love, when I'm not giving really unnecessary conditionality to love, saying, oh, I can only love myself if people like me, if the world is perfect. I can only love myself if I have XYZ amount of money, power, status. Those are boundaries and conditions that we are actually building that is blocking us from drinking the nourishment of love at any point. Yeah. And so we can access that simply when we start to let go. But what's interesting is the more we let go, the more we access love. And the more we access love, the easier it is to let go. Because in order to let go of like the material world, if we're going to use the Christ analogy, as he said, it's easier for a rich man, the camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. Yeah. So when Christ said that, he's pointing to the fact that it's hard to let go of the material world and to enter into something much better, like the kingdom of God. And so in order to let go of the material world, we need a certain, the way I look at it, it's like a reservoir of love. It's like a cushion of love. And I do this with loving kindness meditation, where I say, the phrases I use right now are, may I be kind to myself and others, may I relax and open into life, and may I be loved. And I do this for myself. I do this for other people. And there's this feeling that starts to build in the being of this cushion of, no matter what, high, low, up, down, may I be kind to myself and others. May I relax and open into life. And that cushion starts to make, let's just put it like this, that cushion of love makes the material world much less relevant. Or I don't actually need success materially. I don't need everyone to like me materially in the world out there, because I've already cultivated this reservoir of love. And at that point, it's much easier to let go. Yeah. Like, I don't need all that because I already have it.
I think my views on love have changed so much over the years. And like, I think the true love all begins with loving yourself, because once you love yourself, you can go in with others loving unconditionally with no expectations, because you know that you love yourself so much that I don't need to receive anything back from you, like I love you so much, and like I just I don't need anything for validation. Like,
and this moves into the topic of polyamory and monogamy. And so that's part of the healing that I found through polyamorous dynamics is, when someone else is, again, trying to get their needs met from other people, which is not wrong, what happens for me? What comes up for me? And the way I see it, that jealousy, that insecurity, that I'm not enough, they're enough, I'm not enough. That's why Shorty's going to them.
Yep.
That feeling is the part of me that needs to be held, the part of me that needs to be loved. Because that's the way I look at it. It's like, that's your demon showing his face. And demon is a strong word because it's not actually like objectively bad.
Yeah, it can stem from insecurity. I think it can stem from possession, just not being comfortable with ourselves. I think it's so beautiful. Like, I used to not be open to the idea of polyamory. I used to be very monogamous. I used to be into, I've been in love twice in my life. The relationships were pretty toxic. They taught me a lot, though. I'm very grateful and appreciative for them. But you know, jealousy, possession, toxicity got in the way, and I was just so closed off. And how can now I look back on that version of me and I'm like, how could I think that we can only love one person in this lifetime? You know, like there are 8 billion people in this world and we have the capacity to love so much more than one. And connect with others. And I just think it's so beautiful, and like it shows such a sense of comfortability and trust in yourself and in your partner when you can allow them to go express love to more than one person. And
it seems so, I think, wrong to so many people to actually start to view a relationship like that, where it's like, what do you mean I love her so much, and why would she want to get her needs met from other people? And like you said, there's a lot of people out here, and what I found in intimate connections, especially, well, any relationship, but especially intimate connections, is they bring out different sides of you.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes I need multiple expressions of myself in order to heal, grow, evolve, refine myself. I need multiple partners at some points. And I will never say that polyamory is like objectively better than monogamy. I don't know. I think that both of those styles of relationship leads to different experiences.
Yeah, to each their own.
And I think that there's pros and cons to both. And I think the freedom is having the flexibility and the ability to, again, be true to your own heart. Be like, what do I need right now? And again, pointing to the healing element of polyamory, again, it makes you come back to yourself when you're alone. And like, again, you know, whatever, you're seeing a few people and they all are like, you know, seeing others, and you're with yourself. What comes up, and can I hold that? Can I hold that? And that's the healing that I think happens in polyamory. And I think there's a different side of healing, a different path of healing in a monogamous relationship, which for me, coming from hella wounding in intimate relationships, or just my relationship with the feminine in general, it's so hard like to let myself surrender into that singular person. It's terrifying. And not even at the level of my mind, my whole body like flips, and all of a sudden like I don't feel safe, and all I can do is find fault because I'm like, my body's like, yo bro, back out, it's
yeah, you know, we were talking about that earlier, how like our trauma in intimate relationships, like it's very hard for me to allow myself to, right now I'm at a point in my life where I'm just so focused on myself and my career. I haven't really been dating much, or like, I don't know, I haven't allowed myself to fall in love deeply since my past relationships because of that trauma that stems from my father and my past relationships. I just don't think, I honestly, like being so truthful, I don't think I'm fully like healed from it. I still have a lot of healing work that I need to do. But
there's something beautiful in that, and that's what I want to speak to. Is
platonic love has saved my life.
And I want to say, so many points I want to touch in on here, but the first one being like, you have daddy wounds, I have mommy wounds. You know, you got cheated on twice in your love relationships. I got cheated on by the first 2 girls I really was into in high school. So it's like, these are wounds. And my question is, what does it look like when I really heal that wound? Do I still go for the polyamorous dynamics, or do I go to the monogamous dynamics? And the question is, it's a question because I don't know. I think that there's pros and cons. And I think that so many people have this, again, societally conditioned perspective that is that monogamy is objectively the way to go. And I think obviously there are many spiritual traditions that say that, but I think you could make an argument to say that it's actually kind of unnatural in human settings, in the sense of, well, let's put it like this. I was using the analogy of, great apes. So there's the great apes that we're most related to are chimpanzees and bonobos. So the difference between them actually is really interesting because chimpanzees like kill each other. They eat each other. They're like wild. I don't know if they eat each other, but they eat monkeys. They're very violent. And you could say that's a part of us. We have that very violent side. And bonobos, on the other hand, they are like supremely peaceful. And what's interesting about bonobos is anytime they feel that, like, you could call that charge, that anxiety, they have like a sexual release. And that's like guy on girl, girl on girl, guy on guy, old, young, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whenever they feel that like tension, they actually have that sexual connection and that release. And they are the most, non-violent grade ape species. So we have that in our DNA as well. And what happens too when,
like I said, we're animals.
Exactly.
Literally.
And I think we have this evolutionary push to be in these, coupled systems for sure. But what about this quote that I think is so true, that it takes a village to raise a family? And Mars was actually telling me, because Mars is, so into the poly, like philosophy and lifestyle. She was saying she was watching this show. It was some Mormon show where there's like 5 wives and 1 guy, and like the kids love it. They have like 5 moms. And then they're getting
sister
their
wives.
Sister wives, exactly. But these kids are like getting their needs met, like, and it's not just all the pressure on this small family. Where also the community is so supportive that these kids, like, they grow up in a wider net of love. And I'm like, that sounds almost more ideal.
Yeah.
So I'm still like, I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to polyamory, monogamy. My question is, if we could, what would it look like if we could extract our like puritanical religious conditioning out of our psyches?
Yeah.
What would we want then?
And
what would be right for us then?
And I think, like how I was saying, like there's not just one version of Kylie, there's multiple sides of Kylie. And I think I have found that through having multiple partners, and like everyone like wants to shame like people who have sex and people who want to be freaky. And I don't know, I think like having multiple partners has brought out different sides of me.
Why do you think people shame sexuality and sexual expression?
I think it comes down to not being comfortable with yourself, or just how you were raised, like there's no, I read this book, and there's no right or wrong way in this lifetime. It's all based on conditioning and what we were raised growing up.
Right.
So I just think that those people are not comfortable with themselves, insecure.
Conditioned. Well, the way I see it, it's like if someone is like, again, poking fun at somebody else's expression, period. Like that's like just bullying. It's like, where is that coming from? And it's for me, like,
you're
bullying,
not comfortable and happy with yourself.
Right,
I think that you're jealous of me for being able to tap into my authenticity so deeply, and I know who I am. I'm so comfortable with who I am, but why can't you? Like, I think you should just be happy for others, whoever they want to be. Like,
I think also it makes people like scared and uncomfortable. There's like something in them like, that's not right.
Yeah.
And again, if we look
that's one thing about me. Like, why can't I kiss girls? Like, I love women. I love women. Yeah, we love women out here.
Well, the thing is, I think most people, if they're seeing you making out with chicks, I think most people are into that. I mean, I think most people would be into that.
Sorry, Mom.
It's fucking chill.
Yeah, like I don't know. One thing about my Instagram and my social media, like you might see me like making out or kissing my friends, whatever, like platonic love, as I was going back
you're
to
making out with your platonic friends.
Yeah, why can't
I was saying this, you're gonna give the homies the wrong impression. He's like, yo, let's just make out real quick, and he's like,
sorry, you just don't get it, you just don't got it like that. Like I don't know, like me and my girlfriends like to kiss, like what's wrong with that? And like you automatically assume, you automatically look at it and assume that like, oh, like we're having sex and we're sleeping together. Like why?
Not necessarily.
Like why do you have to think that? Why can't I just be showing my friends love, or like that's us tapping into our feminine sexual energy, and we can make out if we want to, and I can show love in that way with my best friend.
I fully fucking
like see
support
that's
it.
just society conforming to the norms and going back to like what you were conditioned and how you were raised.
Totally,
there's no right from wrong, so why do you have to think that is the right way?
Yeah,
like there is no, like that is just you judging me and coming from a place of insecurity or coming from a place of uncomfortableness, and I don't fuck with
that's
it.
The thing. I think like, I mean, I fully support girls making out with girls. Let's just make that a statement. And
like I was saying, I love letting people perceive me. Like if you want to look at my Instagram and think like I am bisexual, I do like men and women. I have not been in a relationship with a woman. I don't know if I would date a woman because I do need like that masculine like energy to like kind of like duality. The balance. But I love like having sex with women, like like they're so hot. So
I'm with you on that. So yeah, and that's the thing. I think that everybody's different. So I almost see like you know, you want to make out with chicks, you want to have sex with chicks, I fully support that for sure. I think it's a perennial vibe. If I'm at any function and girls start making out with each other, I'm like, it just leveled up quite a bit.
Yeah.
And like, so I fully support it. And at that point, I also have to fully support the people that it's not their karma, it's not their dharma, it's not their path, and that's okay for them. Just like it's okay for you to be hella freaky and to be, again, like I love how you say you like to be perceived as a slut sometimes, even though you wouldn't call yourself a slut.
I wouldn't. Yeah, like I'm not a slut. Like honestly, I'm not a slut, but people perceive me as a slut. But like, and do I give a fuck? No, I don't give a fuck. I don't want, like, I don't necessarily want to be perceived as a slut. I just don't care. Well, like if you want to, and I don't care to fix like the accusations or the views on me. I don't care to, like, I used to care so much about what other people thought about me and like just try to change people's views on me. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I don't care because I'm living authenticity, like in my authenticity, authentically me, like 100%, and it's made me feel so like that's freedom. And I just feel so I feel so free, and it's lifted a lot of my, I feel better being, I'm so much happier being judged than when I was suppressing myself. I was depressed. Exactly.
And that what was happening with me is actually the suppression or the repression of darkness. Yeah. The repression of the parts of me that I don't like, the repression of what seemed like weakness, the repression of what seemed like just the more tender introverted parts. It was that repression that made it so bad. And I love, you know, I saw some shit on Instagram that's like authenticity is the highest frequency, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know who's tracking these frequencies, but anyways, I agree with that. Like for me, is the authenticity, my authentic expression of the light, of the dark, of me. And I love, I heard this quote, which is just be you, and just be you 100%, and then check out who comes around. And that's how you live life, is just check out who's around when I'm just being myself. And some people are not going to dig your vibe. Some people are going to hate, talk shit, whatever. And for me, it's like, fuck them. I literally never had any control over how other people perceive me. Yes. It's an illusion to think that you did. So it's like, just let it go.
You can't worry about what you can't control.
And it's so much energy to try to put on these masks and how are people going to like me? What do I have to say? What do I have to do? It's like, dog. Do less. Be you.
Worry about yourself.
And fuck the haters. There's going to be haters no matter who you are. You know what? Christ got crucified last I checked. No matter who you are, there's going to be haters.
And that's where it all comes down to, like on like my Instagram, like honestly, like I could be expressing myself more the way I want on Instagram, but like, you know, I'm in the music industry, I have a career, but like I still push the boundaries, like, and the limits with me, and like I don't care. I love to push the boundaries, and like I love, like, I don't know, I just like tapping into my chaos and expressing myself, like my craziness and my chaos, and I don't care, like if I want to kiss girls and post it, if I want to like post my ass, if I want to wear whatever the fuck I want, it makes me feel sexy, it makes me feel feminine, and I'm showing love to my friends. And if you want to perceive it as a different way, or if you want to judge me for it, like, then that's on you. So
if you want to be a hater, be my guest. Again, for me, it's like, just notice what it's like experientially in yourself to have that hater energy. It actually hurts. It's a contraction. And that's the thing. It's like, why do I have to be a hater for anyone, actually? You know, unless they're causing harm to me or somebody I care about, or just people in general. Like, sure, there's a place for you know, skillful conflict, but at the same time, notice what it feels like to be a hater. And it actually just isn't pleasant for you personally. And I want to point to this topic of this word called slut, actually, and this whole notion of like slut shaming. And I want to shout out Mars again, who's always, she's so cute, and she's like, I'm a sacred slut, and she is. We love Mars. And we were just talking to her yesterday.
She embraces it.
And she owns it hard. And the thing is, it's interesting with these imaginal archetypal expressions of who we are. It's all about, can you own it? Whoever you are, can you own it? If someone's calling you a slut, can you own it and say, yeah, fuck them? It's like sort of the use and the reclamation of like the N-word. Like at first it was derogatory, and then it was used as like you're owning it. And the same is true of this podcast. Like, let's say it's hard to slut shame on the Spiritual Fuckboy podcast. You know what I mean? Like we're owning these archetypes, and there's something about that where as much as people want to shame that, it's like if you can own it completely and say, just, you know, what even is a fuckboy, because I wouldn't say I'm like a degenerate. I think fuckboy obviously carries a connotation of like, you know, kind of a piece of shit. But for me, it's like Mars is like, he's just a spiritual and he likes to fuck.
Yeah,
And I'm like, it's like
spiritual
exactly.
fuckboy.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like I can own that. And it doesn't mean I'm a bad person. I can
Yeah.
still show up for many people.
And people,
be supportive.
society is going to think, wait, people that are spiritual aren't supposed to be fuckboys. Or like, you know, like they just want to like confine you to the norms. Or like people like me, like somebody who's like, I'm trying to be professional and successful. Like, why can't I like dress the way I want and make out with girls? And like, what, you want to like label me as a slut just because I'm out there and I'm free and I'm me? But like, I can be both. You
Exactly.
know? You can be both.
I'm multi-dimensional,
the duality,
baby. And that's the thing.
baby.
It's like, am I a spiritual fuckboy? Sure, yes. But that's only one facet of me. You know what I mean? I am multi-dimensional. Let's put it like that. Because we have this idea, and this is actually related to ego, that I am one way. You know, a lot of people identify with the activities they do. I'm an accountant. I'm a server. I'm a, you know, I love festivals. I'm a rock climber. I'm a trail runner. Whatever it is, we tend to identify with that view and say, that's what I am. But actually, we have like many facets.
Yes, that's why when you asked me when we sat down, how would you like me to introduce you? I was like, wait, this is a really hard question because I am not just one thing. I am a lot of things. I am multifaceted.
I'm the same way. It's like for this. Yeah, so I was doing this video to apply for this fucking reality TV show someone hit me up on about, you know, being on the show off Instagram. And I was making this video and they're like, describe yourself, what makes you interesting? And I was like, dude, how would I describe myself? I'm like, I don't even know where to fucking start. Like
exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, it's an interesting idea, and again, it does relate to our notion of identity and
that's
self.
like the biggest thing about me that I have always wanted people to know is like, I am not one vibe, I'm all of them. And that's why I'm able to connect with people so deeply on different levels. And that's what makes me so like, you know, like you said, acts of service and being like such a people person. Like I'm able to just like, I'm the biggest empath, able to relate to many people on different levels. I'm good at doing my hospitality job because you just have to be able, I don't know, I'm able to read the room and match vibes really well because I have so many different dimensions inside of me.
And giving yourself permission to express all of those dimensions. That I think is medicine. That is healing. And I think for me, like I have these crazy tats.
Being free of the fear of what other people might think.
Like so when I have these crazy tats, I got like the piercings on my face, and I'm a psychotherapist, at least for now. I mean, I probably honestly won't be doing that career for much longer because I have other well, just because like I have other things moving as far as like coaching or the existential liberation thrust or the modeling. Like I just like other things are moving in a different direction. But let's just put it like this. When I was getting tatted and like I got the neck tat, like the crazy sleeve, people like my professors
you look so hot. I can't wait to get blasted, honestly.
Shout out Jordan. Jordan's gonna be on the podcast soon, my tattoo artist. But like as a therapist, some of my like graduate professors were like, you're gonna do therapy with like a neck tat like that? And I'm like, dude, you don't get the vision, because the vision is giving yourself radical permission to express authentically, to express yourself. That is therapy. Therapy is giving yourself permission to be you. And for me, I want this dope shit on my neck. I want the piercing in my eyebrow because that's me.
Yep.
And I say so. No one else gets to pick who I am. And that's the thing. That is therapy. And we get locked in therapy has to look like this sterile, clinical type shit. And I'm like, bro, the human psyche and soul is not sterile and clinical. Yeah. How the fuck are we going to heal people like that?
Yeah. Or like me working in the music industry, and I'm a server and a bartender and I'm a nursing student. Like I have to like conform or like think I have to conform to these societal norms when I don't. Like I shouldn't be able to get tattoos, or even in the music industry, like everyone is expected to wear like all black, and like, but in Arizona, where I don't give a funk, we're the funk fam, like we like to pop off and wear like super dope ass colors. We like to pop off and wear like outfits that show skin. Like I think you should be able to just express yourself however you want, you know?
Totally. And with that expression, I mean, it directly links to sexual expression. I've had this conversation many times, but I think that the suppression of our sexual energy, of that sexual expression, is actually the repression of like universal life force. And I mean that literally, like, because you know, in like Chinese medicine, they talk about this notion of qi, free flowing energy. And that free flowing energy, it's like it inspires your creativity, your ability to connect, your ability to get work done. And it's that sexual energy when it gets focused, you know, you could say from the chakric lens in the sacral, you know what I mean? And then it's like, then you feel that buildup. And if we repress that energy, we put a kink in the hose of our desires and the really the expression of life, then that's where shit gets fucked up.
Yeah.
That's where we get pedophile priests and like sexual predator types when there's a kink in the flow. Actually,
Yeah.
if we open up to allow ourselves to express ourselves,
to express and release
honestly,
it in healthy, honest ways,
and be vulnerable, and that's where it becomes a balance. Because especially with the masculine energy, let's say we have this whole notion of toxic masculinity, which is a real thing. And I would say that is due to some flavor of repression or an inability to be vulnerable, an inability to express, an inability to be seen. And then it's like that pressure builds and then has to get released in these really like destructive ways.
And that's why I think even when you're tapping into your sexuality and you're just feeling so, ravenous and like sexual and like horny, like thing. I think you should just be able to communicate with your partners without the fear of like being, feeling like, I don't know, once you sit with yourself and feel comfortable with yourself and your sexuality and your freakiness and you can just unleash it. I think that's when it's the most beautiful. Like I was dancing when I was 19, and I think I really like tapped into my feminine sexual energy, like just like being on stage, dancing, like tapping into my body. Like I love being naked. It was less about the men, more about being with myself, loving myself, and made me love myself, and loving myself made me feel more comfortable and free expressing like that my sexuality. So
interesting. Loving yourself allowed you to let go into who you are.
Exactly.
And it's so trippy to me because it's like, again, so much of that sexual expression gets shamed and culturally like put down. And I think there's something so destructive in that, just like what I've been pointing to. We're repressing who we are. And actively in life, throughout our lives, we are actually creating and simultaneously discovering, who is this person here in this one lifetime? This is, a unique lifetime. There will never be another me. There will never be another you. And who am I? And am I, again, repressing and limiting my expressions where I can't actually discover who I am? I can't create who I am and recognize its creation and discovery. When I get the tats on my neck and the piercings, I'm creating myself. And at another level, simultaneously discovering who I've always been. And it's so trippy to me. And I think, again, to hear you take something like dancing and to own it so hard, and I've heard this from other dancers as well, where it's like that ability to, again, match the image of you with the dancer, with the person that someone's throwing money over. Like, that's high value, you know what I mean? And it allows
people
you to
always
own
shame dancers, and it's like crazy to me because like they're just out there being like so free and themselves, and like they're doing it for them, and just so like
sometimes
so beautiful. Sometimes. Well, I mean, I did it for me. I did it for me.
And the money's pretty good from whatever.
I was like going through a heartbreak at the time, and I like kind of just needed like a pick me up confidence booster, and I was like, you know what, like I really want to tap back into like my performing arts side, and like, and it's so sensual and sexual, like being on stage, and it just makes you feel so like beautiful and like powerful. It's like such a powerful thing to be up there and go own it like on stage while getting money thrown at you. Like, let's go.
exactly. And so we only have so much time. We got like 5 minutes left. Something I wanted to touch in on, which is interesting because this is what my friend Gretchen spoke to a lot. Also, I don't think we even got into it in the podcast with her, but okay, we got 5 minutes. Platonic love.
It's okay. We'll have to do another one.
I know. So I want to talk to you about platonic love and what that's done for you.
Platonic love is like honestly the biggest fucking part of my life because like I said, I am struggling right now. Like one thing I struggle with is falling in love like in intimate relationships. Like I'm pretty closed off from my past.
We got wounds.
Yeah, we got wounds, but platonic love has saved my fucking life. Like once I found my tribe, once I found my group of friends that I have now, like they've showed me more love and it's filled my cup more than any romantic relationship ever has. And I think that it's so beautiful. Like I said, like, just coming back, like if me and my girlfriends want to kiss each other, like we can. Like I have, and like that's just the way me and my girlfriend show love sometimes. And then I have the best guy friends. Like if you would come into my friend group, everyone thinks that me and my friends are all like having sex and fucking, I swear to God, because like we're just so loving with each other. Like always having fat puddles, like always just like showing hella love. But like I think it's so beautiful to know that like there's no insecurity, there's no jealousy in our friend groups. Like there's many relationships in my friend groups, but like do we get insecure or jealous like from another person showing another one love? No. Because at the end of the day, we all know that it's like platonic.
And you're all in this web of so much love from everybody.
Yeah.
Where it's like maybe there isn't that same kind of clinginess to love.
It's so
you know
beautiful. And
it.
that's honestly, I think, what brought me into the idea of being poly is because that platonic love showed me like we can love multiple people at once, and there's no jealousy or insecurity. Like it's just simply like, I don't know, loving someone. There's so many different versions of love.
Exactly. And with even the polyamorous kind of dynamics, like, will there be difficult times? Yeah, yes. duh. And it's like a different flavor of difficulty I found than actually the monogamous dynamics. You know, similarities and differences, but I think no matter what, life is going to test us, and no matter what, life is going to make it difficult by default. That's the only way we're going to grow and evolve. And
it's
I think
great. I have like the best guy friends in my life. Like I said, like, you know, platonic love is beautiful, and like I love letting people perceive me. Like people can perceive me as a slut, people can perceive me and my friend group as like too much and too out there, but like you don't really know the dynamics of people until you're like in that, you know. And like honestly, at the end of the day, like me and my friends are just so like, it's just all comes down to platonically loving, and I know that they're my ride or dies, and they would show up for me no matter what situation. And I just let people think whatever they want, but the guys and the men that I have in my life keep me safe, they keep me protected, they treat me like a fucking sister. Honestly, I've never felt more safe, seen, and heard than in my family and my platonic relationships. Like I think that's why I'm not out there searching for love. Like I found it within myself, and I found it within my friends. So yeah.
And as much as I want to continue this conversation, we got to wrap up right now. So Kylie Gutierrez, do you want to shout out your socials, anything you're doing, your funk family?
Shout out my funk fam. I love you guys so much. You know, I did come on this podcast. I wanted to talk about my career with I Don't Give a Funk, my past, my family. Shout out my family. They're amazing. I wouldn't be where I am in my career without my mom and my stepdad. And I just want everyone to know that go through life. A closed mouth never gets fed. That's my biggest motto. Put yourself out there, express yourself, fuck what anybody thinks, fuck the haters. And love unconditionally with no expectations. That's beautiful. My message.
Beautiful. All right, Kylie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll have to do a round 2 whenever you're out here again.
We'll do a round 2. Thanks, Ben.
Of course.
Thank you.